Hello, now we are going to look at pie charts. A pie chart is where we have a circular chart and we've broken up our circle into different sectors, into different fractions of the circle for different categories or groups that we're talking about. So if we have a prize of €450 that is divided up as it is in this pie chart, first prize gets this fraction, second prize gets this fraction, third prize gets this fraction, and fourth prize gets this fraction. So first things first, what we want to do is find our missing number of degrees here. We want to find x degrees. So we can see here we have our capital L looking symbol is our right angle, and you can also have it the other way around, so it looks like a little box in the corner. That means a right angle as well. We have 120 degrees and 60 degrees. So 90 degrees for a right angle, and then our other two angles that we know, and then the remaining amount is going to be x. Well, I know that if I add up all of the angles in my circle, I have to get 360. If I rotate all the way around, I have to go through 360 degrees. So x plus 90 plus 120 plus 60 must all add up to 360 degrees. If I rotate all the way around the circle, I must have gone through 360 degrees. So I can add up my like terms, and I get that x plus 270 is equal to 360. Subtract 270 from both sides to get x by itself, and x is equal to 90 degrees. Now we can immediately see that our diagram is not accurate. That should look the same as my third prize, but they are not required to give you diagrams that are accurate. In point of fact, sometimes they'll deliberately not do so, so that you have to work it out directly like this, as opposed to being able to see it from the diagram. So now we know that x is 90, so what I would do is go and put that information in to my diagram. I would make sure that I included that information in my diagram so I'd be able to tell myself the story of everything that I knew. Now find the prize money given to the first, second, third, and fourth place winners. We could treat this as a ratio and proportion type question. We know that the total prize money is €450, and we know that that is the total circle, so that would be 360 degrees. So €450 would be 360 degrees. It would be the total circle. Then to find out how much each person got, how much first, second, third, and fourth got, we would simply find out how much money you get for 1 degree. So divide by 360. 360 divided by 360 is going to give us 1. So 1 degree of our circle would equate to, we work that out, it's €1.25. So for every degree of the circle that a prize has, you get €1.25. So say we were talking about the second or third prize, which was 90 degrees, we'd multiply both sides of our equality by 90. Sorry, ratio by 90, not equality in this case. So that 90 degrees would be 112.50. That. Yeah, it would be 90 degrees. So that would be the second or third prize. So that's a way of approaching it in terms of ratio or proportion. We're going to think of it as, the main way I'm going to do this question is as fractions of the circle. So here we have 120 out of 360 of our prize. So what fraction of the total circle have we been dealing with? But again, you can tackle this in more than one way. We've looked at how you can do it through ratio. Now we're going to write it out in terms of thinking of fractions of a circle. And the reason why we'll focus on this is it often tends to link into more advanced problems later on, but the ratio method is always good as well. So for the first prize, we look at what fraction of the circle are we dealing with. We're dealing with 120 degrees out of a total of 360. So that's the fraction of the circle that I am dealing with, and the total circle is 450 euro. So when I put that into my calculator, I get 150 euro. So the first person gets 150 euro of the total of 450. The second prize, we already know what the answer is going to be, but we will calculate it out here. And 90, our x was 90 out of 360. Multiplied by our total, so that's effectively a quarter. A quarter of our 450 ends up being 112.5, 0 if you like. The third prize was the same, so it's going to be 90 out of 360 on 450 is equal to 112.50. And the fourth prize was 60 degrees out of 360. So that's the fraction of the complete circle, so the fraction of the total that we are dealing with, and our total was 450. So this fraction of the total ends up being 75 euro. And that's how much each person got. So we can lay that out neatly in a table to keep track of our information and to use it often for extending our question. And also we can do this by ratio method as we discussed. Now, separate question. Bethel had some money for going on roller coasters. So we have broken up the amount of money that or fractions of money that Bethel spent on the game Spin, Cars, Swing, and Loop-the-Loop. If Bethel spent 18 euro on Spin, how much did Bethel spend in total? So I'm going to write that information into my diagram. So Spin is here, and that was 18 euro. And that's 90 degrees. That's what my right angle symbol means. So I know that 90 degrees is the same as 18 euro. So again, we have two ways that we can think about this. We could think about the fraction of the circle. So we know that 90 out of 360 times our total, which I'll call t. You can write in the word total if you like. And that's equal to 18 euro. Don't tend to write the euro symbol when we're in the middle of calculations. We can simplify this fraction and we get a quarter of t is equal to 18. Multiply both sides by 4 so that we get t, the total, by itself. And we get the total of, would be equal to 72 euro. So that would be working it in terms of thinking of the fractions of our circle, the fractions of our total. We can also think about it as a ratio type question. If 90 degrees, so that's the question done. This is just another way of approaching the question. If 90 degrees is 18 euro, and we want to know the total amount of money spent, then we could find out what 1 degree was, because we want to know 360. So 360 degrees would be our total circle, so our total amount of money spent. So 1 degree would be 0.2 euro, 20 cent, and then multiply by 360 to get up to 360 degrees. And we get 360 degrees, our total is 72 euro. So that's two different ways that we can approach the problem. Now, question 2. How much did Bethel spend on cars? So we go to cars and we say, I'm missing something. I don't know what fraction of the circle I'm talking about, so I'll give it a letter name. I'll call it Y, because I don't know what it is and I already used X. I could actually call it C, which might make more sense, but I'll keep it as Y now. And I know that the way I'm going to find this is there are 360 degrees in a complete rotation. So if I add up all of my angles, including Y, I have to get 360. So Y plus 90 plus 45 plus 120 must all add up to 360. Add up my like terms. I get y plus 255, I should say, is equal to 360. Subtract 255 from both sides. And y, my angle for my cars, is equal to 105 degrees. Now there's a longer way to do this question which may jump out at you instead. You could find out, we already know that spin cost us 18 euro, and we know that our total is 72. So if we found out the cost or the amount of money that was spent on loop-the-loop and the amount of money that was spent on spin, we could subtract that money. We could subtract the amount for spin, loop-the-loop and swing and from the total, and we'd be left with cars. It's a very similar argument to this, but dealing with the money as opposed to the fraction of the circle, as opposed to the angles in the circle. But it works as well. So now we know this angle, I'm going to write it in. So always update the diagram so we can see what we know. And now I can either do this via ratio, or I can do it by fraction of the circle. I'll write this one out by fraction of the circle. So my amount of money that was spent on cars is going to be 105 degrees out of 360. That's the fraction of the circle that we're talking about. Times the total that we now know from the previous part of the question, which was 72. And when we multiply that out, we get 21 euro. And again, you could do this via ratio as well. We know what 1 degree equates to in money, so we simply could have multiplied 1 degree is to 0.2 euro by, in this case, 105, and we would have gotten 21 euro as well. So we can see there are multiple ways of approaching these pie chart type questions, because they are essentially fractions of a total type questions, which is ratios effectively, ratio and proportion. Or we can think about it as fractions of a circle. And both methods work well, and both can help us solving these types of problems. And that's what we need for now.